Alright, here we are scouting soybeans. It's mid-July and the soybeans are flowering. Herbicide applications have wrapped up, and now the next key scouting activity is to check nodulation. So nodules will start to form as early as the second trifoliate in soybeans. However, I recommend waiting until full flower to take a full assessment. The reason is that we are now entering a phase of rapid nutrient and water uptake, and so we want to make sure that nodules are fully functional and active at this time as we head into that very important growth period. So let's take a look at what soybean flowering looks like. Soybean flowering is triggered by the shortening of days. So a few weeks following the summer solstice on June 21st is typically when soybeans will start to flower in Manitoba. And soybean plants also need to have at least 4 to 6 trifoliates in order for flowering to be initiated. So looking at this plant, first you want to identify the nodes. So a node is defined as the point of attachment of the trifoliate leaf to the main stem. When I say trifoliate, I mean the leaf that's comprised of 3 leaflets. So where that attaches to the main stem is the node, and at the node is where the soybean flowers will occur. They're very small and discrete, and typically they'll be either purple or white. So R1 is called early flower, and it's defined as an open flower anywhere on the main stem. They usually happen about the center, and then they start to flower up and down the plant. R1 only lasts about 5 days, and then we're into R2, which is full flower. In order to distinguish R2, or full flower, you need to figure out what the top nodes are. So the first node is considered when the trifoliate leaflets are no longer touching. So we would consider this our first node. So this is the top 1, the second one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we see the unifoliate leaves. So this plant has 6 trifoliates, and because there's an open flower at one of the top 2 nodes, this plant would be considered R2. So this is perfect timing to assess nodulation. So in order to do that, what you'll need is a shovel and a bucket of water. The reason you want to use a shovel is you don't want to just tear plants up because some nodules can be sloughed off by the soil. You want to assess nodulation in a few representative areas of the field. You want to bring the roots, wash them in the soil, wash them in the water, and then assess the nodules. So what are we looking for in terms of nodulation? Well, first we're looking for a very healthy green plant. That's a good indication that the nodules are working. In terms of how many we're looking for, the most recent research in Manitoba has shown that 5 to 10 nodules per root are sufficient. So each of these nodules has anywhere from 5 to 10. So that's a good thing. You also want to make sure that they're healthy. A healthy nodule, what you'll want to do is prick the inside of the nodule and open it up. Perfect. The nodules should be pinkish red. That means that they're active and they're fixing nitrogen. So nodulation looks good in this field. We have 5 to 10 per root. The nodules inside are pinkish red and they're healthy, which means that these nodules should be actively fixing nitrogen and providing the crop with nutrients for the rest of the season. So like I mentioned, nodulation check at R1 to R2. Reason being, we are now entering a phase of rapid growth in the soybeans, and we're actually about halfway to harvest. So from this point out, soybeans will double in size. They'll have twice the node number, they'll double in height, and they'll double in biomass. So we're entering a very important season, or part of the season for soybeans. So let's hope for good weather, good moisture, good heat, and we'll see you at harvest.